Hey everyone, what's up? Riddick here. Been playing Ashes of Creation a lot here lately, and I really can't say enough about this game. It is great. It has been a breath of fresh air. The graphics are amazing. Even though it's in alpha, it does have its bugs. That's expected because it is in alpha. The devs are doing a great job of fixing stuff. They're doing a phenomenal job of making content that's fun, it's engaging. I love the play style. I really just could go on and on about this game. A little bit about me. I've been tanking for right at about 20 years now, so to say I enjoy the game and I like the play style, it says a lot about the game. There's a lot of information out there about tanking, and a lot of it is outdated, which is the purpose of this video, is to get into the meat and potatoes of tanking and AOC and to be up to date. I didn't go through the consumables in the video, but I will talk about them. There's a grilled cheese that I use. It comes from, you can buy it from an apprentice armor smithing or weapon smithing vendor, or maybe journeyman. I use a scroll of constitution. You can get those from the scribe or engineering vendor. I believe it's the scribe vendor. That's the cheapest places to buy your buff food currently in the game, and the best buff foods I have found so far in the game, along with milk, and of course you always have your ration. So we're going to jump into the skill tree here, and then we'll go through the play style some. So if you look at the video I've made here, we'll just start with Vengeance. It does have a trip to it that I don't use. Your iron ore is kind of a set and forget. You need to check it every now and then, because it is currently falling off. So your Vengeance has a trip part to it and a shielding part. I do not use the stun part of it. Grit is the meat and the potatoes. This is what the rotation is built around for PvE tanking. 10%, you can get 2 stacks, that's 20% mitigation. So you want to keep that up at all times, and that was one of the major changes. This is a good skill point because it does increase the shielding portion of it. And it works in conjunction with grit, and the entire build is based around building courage and doing your thing. So shield slam, pulverize, 2 gap closers I use a lot. The next one's inciting strikes I use a lot. It hits everything in front of you, so it is a great aggro getter. That's your taunt, your intimidating, or slam I do not like. I actually took it off my bar, I believe, right here during this video, because it does use courage, and you want to save your courage so that you can keep your grit up. I mean, without that 20%, you take a pretty incredible damage. Reflect is a great one. I use it a lot to reflect big incoming damage and crank out a little bit of damage to the adds. Fortify, shake it off, rush the courage is a 3-button combo I use kind of in oh shit situations, so that shake it off, will be last. It's my control 3-button. Will be last, so that you can go back to keeping your grit up. Indomitable Spirit's a great one in oh shit situations. I use this one. Actually, I use it a lot in Befallen Forge. We went in blind. Forceful Tremors is a good trip. It is your single target trip. That is one of the ones I like to use. The other one's ground pound, which we get to later on. Slam is a good one. Charge, I really haven't found a big use for that unless it's PvP. So wall is a big PvP skill I use. I rotate it in and out. Ground pound, that is your AoE trip. So absorption field's a great one. You can place it on yourself or the group for big incoming damage. Depending on the stack, you can get both at the same time. Tomahawk has a trip to it if you take that option. I use that in conjunction with PvP or PvE. I'll chain them in. When they turn around, tomahawk them, drop my wall, cut them off from their heels, and just let my DPS melt them. I only do group PvP. I'm not a big PvPer. Those of y'all that know me know I love the PvE aspect of the game and play the game for the group content. All of them I have played. That's just what I fell in love with years ago, and what I feel like I get the most rewards. So we'll go through some game gear here. I'm currently wearing the Rosarium Guard and the Academius Monitor set. They work really well. Both sets are good. Rosarium Guard you can farm from SB. It's super easy. The easier one to farm. The Academius Monitor set comes from the 3rd floor car. We will show a little bit of gameplay on that, where you can see how I use my cooldowns and my rotations to keep things up. I've used the sword and board and the scepter. There's not really a big difference there. I'm currently using the bow. I like the spell book a little bit better, but I had a great drop on the bow with physical power, and that translates to threat and doing damage. So here we are in Karth, and the way I like to do this is I like to pull one war mage and one knight. Yes, I can handle more, but if you accidentally get more, one spawns in the wrong spot, one of the DPS actually pull one. If you're at the limit of what you can handle, the group wipes, you take your experience debt, which is huge because this game's all about risk to reward, and that's part of what makes it fun. Although I do think tanks kind of get crapped on there. Their risk to reward isn't that great because generally you die, the healer reses you, then you die again if the group wipes, which is most of the time. A lot of them's not recoverable, and it really does make tank leveling about 33%, 33 to 45% slower than the rest of the classes because of that. But regardless of that, I'm still having a blast in the game. As you can see, I'm still playing it. I'm still putting in tons of hours in the game. So Arcane Blast is a big one. Roll out, dodge it. This plays into effect in almost everything. It's a pretty big mechanic in the game right now. Something you want to master early, especially as a tank, because it's huge damage to stand in. And I really don't like to waste my trips on that in case I need them on something else. So as you can see, my rotation's all based around grit. I'll pop a Vengeance here just for shielding because I knew I had a little bit of incoming damage coming and to help the healers out. And other than that, I auto attack continuously. I only actively block a few things in the game. There is a few things in the game that'll one-shot you if you're not blocking, so it is important to block those. There is a calculated block in there, but I never rely on the random number generator. RNG is just not a great thing to rely on when you got an entire group that's counting on you to do your job, you know. So I'll quit yapping now and I'll let you watch your play style, the play style and how it works. And I hope you enjoy your time in Vera, and I hope you find this game as much fun as I have. Like I said, it has been a massive breath of fresh air. One thing I haven't covered in the video to talk about is your single target on shift 1 on my keys is a big one that applies humiliated, which is a damage debuff, reduces damage you taken. So as a tank, that's always big, is to mitigate incoming damage, hold aggro, and stay alive. After that, it's extra, you know. So that's always been my priority, my first priorities in any MMO as a tank. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope it helps. Hope you learn something from it. One of the things is always kind of aggravated me a little bit. I felt as a content creator, it was our job to keep everybody up to date on the game. And right now, there just ain't a lot of up-to-date videos. They were prior to the tank changes that happened a month or two ago. The game actually lost a lot of tanks over that. A lot of people quit playing it, but overall, the changes were great. It made the play style more fun. It made it more engaging. So I'm enjoying tanking a lot more now after the changes because the rotation has become more active and more dynamic, and you've got more CPMs, and it's not so much, okay, it's time for a cooldown. It's let's do something, let's play the game. It's been a great mix of a lot of the other MMOs I've played. So enjoy the video and enjoy your time in Vera, and if you see me around, drop me a line and say hi.